Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared with my lovely wife, Kara.
Hello.
And today I'm talking about budget knives that I would keep if I had to get rid of all my budget knives. Which ones would I keep? So first off, I have to have a couple small knives because I like to carry a small knife for detailing work, something that's small, usually with the tip down, something I can get real fine detailing work done, especially because when I'm carrying a full-size knife, I usually have a smaller knife in my EDC organizer. Now, this is the KIZER Mini BEGLIETER. And I love the KIZER Mini BEGLIETER 2. It's the 2 because they do have an original version that's on washers. The BEGLIETER 2 is on bearings and has a different blade shape. But I like it so much, I have multiple different versions, different blade steels. This one's in 4V, this one's an M390, and this one's an N690. But
We also have a titanium one too, don't we?
yes, we do, yep.
That one's really awesome too.
Yeah, but since this is under $60, all the knives on this list are going to be under $60. This one goes for about $55. Micarta N690. The detent is amazing. It has such a crispy detent. Every single one of them have been very consistent and very drop shutty. Deep carry clip that is inset with flat screws, and it has that nice utility shape that I like and very easy to do utility tasks with it.
I highly recommend that knife. Highly, highly, highly.
Now, there's one that I want on this list, but I don't have it here. I sent it out. I like it so much, and it would totally be on this list, and that's the Kuby Ku321. The Kuby Ku321. It's an amazing knife, amazing detent, downward-facing tip, great for utility cuts. It's super ergonomic. Like, it's so comfortable in the hand. I love cutting with it. I love carrying it and using it, but I don't have it here. But the reverse flicking action is amazing. The front flipper works great on it.
Can we put a picture in?
We already have.
Oh, because it's the future you.
But another one is the QSP Penguin. This is a really good one. This is very affordable. You can get these incredibly cheap, and they do have multiple different versions, including titanium frame lock options. This one is on washers, but they do have a titanium version on bearings. But since this is the budget option, this would be there. Now, I would technically pick the Kuby over this one. In this example, yes, but like I said, we don't have it here. But the Kuby Penguin, this one is in denim.
Kuby Penguin?
What did I say?
You said Kuby Penguin.
Okay, the QSP Penguin is in denim micarta with a deep carry clip that is behind the scales, so it's similar to being inset, and the clip works really good. The detent and action is really good, even though it's on washers. It's super smooth.
It's a classy action.
Highly recommend this one.
Me too.
Now, one other one for the smaller knives is...
It's a shocker.
The Boker Elementum. It's just such a simple knife. It has the exact type of grind I like. It has a hollow grind, nice and thin behind the edge, at 15 thousandths behind the edge. Comes in multiple different options. The base model is only $50 or around $50 for D2 micarta with a steel liner. I forgot to mention the QSP was D2, and that Kuby I was mentioning is also D2. But anyways, great action. It's very simple, and that's what I love about it. I can get the utility cuts done, plus I can also slice with it. It does have the flipper tab where you can go over it with your finger, and it's super simple, and that's what I love about it. It's something that can basically do everything, and it's not too small and not too big. It's a great medium-sized knife.
And if you like matching your knives with fashion, they have like a billion versions.
Yeah, so many different options. Now, let's get to some of these full-size knives. So, we have the Suncut Actium. I love this because it has a harpoon blade shape with a nice thin hollow grind. This thing is super, super affordable.
You can see that you've used it.
Yes, absolutely. And it does come in a couple different options, multiple deployments, because it has the thumb studs and the flipper tab. Detent is great on these, and it's just a fantastic user. And that's kind of where I picked this bunch, is the knives that I would grab to use, because a budget knife to me is something that you can just beat on, and it's easy to replace if you did lose it, drop it, or break it, or whatever. Yeah. Now, I will say, the next one is a GANZO. This probably has the best flipper action out of all the knives on the list, and this is the FH21. Super snappy detent. I can't express that enough. This thing has the best flipper action ever. Good access to the lock bar. And one thing about a lot of these knives is, especially, you know, for a knife that is going to be a user knife like these, all my knives are users, but ones that you just don't care about and you'll put through anything, is I like to be able to use my tip for utility cut, and I want it to be able to slice really good. I want it to be a multi-purpose knife for EDC. And so you'll notice that all of these knives on this list are capable of doing that, where I can easily do utility cuts, slicing, or, you know, strap cutting, whatever I need to do with it. Fantastic knife, the GANZO FH21.
It's a good flat ground option too.
D2, G10, steel liners, deep carry clip. Awesome action. Next is the CIVIVI Riffle. Now, if it was my option, I would totally pick this steel to be on all the knives on this list. It is CIVIVI's 14C28 iron, and I think they do an amazing job with their Sandvik steel.
You love some 14C.
Not only that, but I love CIVIVI's 14C. They do such a good job with it, but I can't get it on all the knives on this list, but this CIVIVI Riffle is an awesome choice. Very affordable, great detent for the reverse flicking action or flipping action. Very comfortable in the hand. My one complaint is that I do wish it had a little bit more of a downward facing tip. It has a lot of belly, but it's still easy to use for the utility cuts. If you watch my full review on this, which I'll pin up here in the corner, you will see that this is an awesome, awesome option for use. It works great for working or any type of EDC work you're going to do with it.
I mean, you have to have a little bit of variety if it's going to be your only knives, right? So you need something with a little belly.
Well, I personally would use just like a kind of an single blade shape, or a spear point, or a sheep's foot blade for if I had the choice. But
you never know.
Lots of different options with this one, including micarta, and like I said, very affordable. T8 hardware all the way around, easy to maintain, ceramic bearings. All these on this list have ceramic bearings, I believe, except for the Penguin. No,
BEGLIETER has one washer version.
No, these are bearings. Baby.
Oh, all of them are bearings up here?
These are all bearings up here, except for the Penguin. The Penguin's a washer. No, yeah, that's why I said the BEGLIETER 2 comes with bearings. The BEGLIETER 1 comes with washers. Yeah, I wouldn't choose the BEGLIETER 1. If you ever,
it's tighter action. I have one. It's good, but yeah, I would pick the 2 as well if I had a choice.
Yeah, if you ever are looking online for one, make sure you're getting the number 2, the BEGLIETER 2. Next is the new Kooby Momentum. This one has easily started hitting the top of my list for budget knives. It just has insanely good action for thumb studs. It's so crispy, the detent, and this is a top flipper or front flipper that works so well because of the way they kind of have this pivot facing forward and have this slope right here. It's easy to pass your thumb over, and even if you roll it, it's very easy because you can see this flipper tab all the way around, so it doesn't hide itself under the scale. So it's super easy to manipulate. And then the ergos, oh, this thing melts in your hand. It has a downward facing tip, and if you look at it, it kind of angles a little bit. So in my hand, it's very easy to just barely kink my wrist just a little bit and trap materials as I'm cutting without slipping out. Also, when I turn it around for strap cutting, you see how the blade is facing towards me, so a cord or a strap or a rope isn't going to slip up and around the blade. I'm going to easily be able to trap materials into the cuts. I love that. So this is a great option. I can get them nice and tight to the tip, you know, using my middle finger right behind the edge like this for utility cuts, detailing work, whatever. Access to the lock bar is really good. Complete fall shut action. It does have a reversible deep carry clip. This one is, I highly recommend it.
If you have fear of front flippers, this is the one. If you're scared of front flippers and you feel like, oh, that's weird, get this one. And even if you suck at it, you still got the thumb studs. But it's amazing front flipping action.
Right. Next is the CIVIVI Praxis. Now, the Backlash would also go in the same option here. I did have a couple Backlashes, but I just recently gave them away. Anyway, so I would always have one or the other, either the Praxis or the Backlash. The Backlash does have a nice deep hollow grind, so that is one benefit to the Backlash. Both of them are flipper-only knives, but super comfortable in the hand. I mean, just mega, mega comfortable. The blade shape, in my opinion, works great for EDC. The Backlash Backlash has a little bit more of a downward facing tip, so a lot of people might like that one a little bit more. This one's more of a spear point, but I love the swedge, the grind, nice and thin, beautiful cutting geometry. This thing slices like a beast. So does the Backlash. So either one would fit this option. If you like the Backlash, the way that one looks better, pick it. If you like this one, pick this one. They're both around $42. They're under $45, which for this is an amazing, amazing budget. Both are 9CR, 18 MOV. Access to the lock bar is really good. Super smooth. Great detents. Reversible deep carry clips. This is just like one of the most ultimate user knives, ultimate budget knives.
Really good for big giant hands too, because that choil can double with the tip of your finger, and if you need to choke up a little for your giant hands.
And it's super comfortable doing it.
Yeah, it is.
Next, we only have a couple more really quick. We have this new one that I recently got, but man, has it just proved to be amazing. The CMB Made Knives Predator. Holy cow, has this thing just been so impressive to me. It is on a crossbar lock that is very, very strong. I mean, I can't muscle anything out of this. It's rock solid, nice, strong Omega springs. I mean, very strong. It's one thing you're going to notice when you get it is that there's a lot of tension on.
But it's doable still. Like I'm small. Yeah. I'm not as strong as Jared. Obviously, I'm a lady, but I can still easily, pull down on the lock. I do wish I had a touch more jimping just to make it easier for weaker people, but it's totally doable.
I think they poke out plenty. Yeah, and it does have traction.
And that's why, because the traction's on the edge of the lock, so it's totally doable.
And you just barely pull it down and it unlocks, because it does not, the older it gets and the longer it breaks in, the more it'll move up the tang of the blade. But brand new, I mean, you just barely pull it down and it disengages, but it's a nice strong lockup.
I know you're going to get to this, but I really like the choil on this knife, like the way that it is.
Yep. Well, we're going to get to that right now. The drop point D2 blade. Really good for just about everything. You can do great utility cuts, slicing, all the good stuff. The ergos are super, super comfortable. This thing is very comfortable in the hand. But yes, the choil, you can see the plunge grind starts and ends right there. So the plunge grind basically just drops straight down, and then you have all of this life to sharpen. So this thing will sharpen. You'll never run out of steel to sharpen before you hit the plunge grind with this. We do have a deep carry clip that is inset, but it's not reversible. That is the one big mistake they made with this.
Especially with it being like a quote-unquote axis lock where it could have been ambidextrous.
Yeah. So it's such an ambidextrous knife, or would have been if it was a reversible flip.
I'm left-handed, but I carry it in my right pocket, so I'm sure there's others like me out there. But
I keep saying that this is similar to like a budget TRM Shadow.
I was just gonna say that. Oh my gosh, I swear on my life I was gonna say that just now. I was like, man, I'm getting budget TRM vibes.
Couple more really quick. I
was really gonna say that though.
My button lock CIVIVI Elementum 14C28N. They did such a good job with this steel. Nice deep hollow ground spear point blade. Love the blade shape. The ergos are just amazing. Choil's amazing. For use, this thing is just like my style of knife. I love it. I can do so much work with it. It's unique because it locks when it's closed, and you have to push the button and swing the blade out and then let it, deploy open. Now it's locked open. So that's how you got to do it. So it doesn't have any other deployment option. I can technically push the button and flick it out and let go of the button. I'm pretty good at that. But
it's pretty good.
But most people complain that it doesn't have another opening option, but I will say that makes it kind of unique, and it works so good as an EDC tool that it just, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Makes it really good if you're doing dangerous things one-handed. There's absolutely no way that you're going to have a hard time opening it that way.
No, it's pretty much, it's kind of like a gravity knife.
You're not going to fail it, that's for sure.
It is very similar to a gravity knife. Deep carry clip that is reversible, so it is very ambidextrous. T8 hardware all the way around, and yeah, fantastic option. Comes in a couple different micarta options and G10 options as well. All right, now, last one on the list. It is discontinued, but I'm going to bring it up because you can still get it, and I'm going to link everything down in the description. The Savi Picaro. I can't believe they discontinued this. Now, this one is not on bearings. This one is on washers, but great drop point blade. Nice, deep, thin hollow grind. This is a thin blade. I mean, I can flex the blade. It's so thin, which makes this thing pass through material so nicely. It is a big knife, though. This is over 9 inches. D2 steel, good access to the lock bar, very smooth. You can deploy it with the reverse flick or use the thumb studs. So it is pretty fidgety, but because it's so big and so long, it allows you to use it kind of like a fixed blade, except for you just have amazing geometry. So it cuts really, really well. Takes an incredible edge. I've sharpened it so many times. I probably sharpened it 10 times already, and you can barely tell. It does come in a couple different color options, and like I said, I will link it below. It's like 50. It's around
52. 52 and some change.
It's around $56, something like that. So it's under $60. Like I said, I will link it below. They have the gray option, the black one, this option. I don't think they have any non-coated options, but it's D2. You kind of want it to be coated, and it's a stone wash coating. So fantastic blade shape, grind, everything. It's almost like it's a really big knife, but if you use it like a small knife because it's so easy to manipulate, and that's what I love about it. So when you start using it, you realize just how great of a user it is. T8 hardware all the way around, reversible deep carry clip, and yeah, so there you guys go. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.
Peace.